of Canada, Mark Carney. Mark.
I'll keep it short and sweet. Family, religion, friendship. These are the three demons you must slay if you wish to succeed in business. Questions?
Hi. Most Canadians are living paycheck to paycheck
I'm
and
afraid I'm not familiar with that term, you adorable little ragamuffin.
it means they don't have enough money because of the high cost of living.
Money is for the poor.
If you were Prime Minister, what will you do about inflation?
Are there any real questions?
Ladies and gentlemen, the pleb is back. In this report, Justin Trudeau finally resigns as Prime Minister and gets heckled extremely hard on his final day leaving office. Also tonight, Mark Carney gets sworn in as Canada's new Prime Minister, and at his press conference continues dropping the uhs. You won't want to miss this report. Stick around. Before we start this report, I'm starting to post content regularly again, and many of you are still complaining that you've been unsubscribed from my channel. So please, all I'm asking, just double check if you're still subscribed, and if you're not, smash that subscribe button. Now let's get into the report. Welcome to your Friday report. We're going to kick off the weekend in style here, as Justin Trudeau yesterday had his final day at the Prime Minister's office, and what I'm about to show you next will warm your heart, as a moving truck showed up to move Trudeau out. Shout out to Daisy Media once again for the great footage.
It looks like Trudeau is packing up his furniture and leaving today, because today is Trudeau's last day at office. Look at this. I think that's going to fit all his furniture in there. Trudeau's last day. Freedom.
You love to see it. Now, what happens next is even better. Now, on this channel, we've covered Trudeau getting heckled here for about 2 years. And on Justin Trudeau's final day in his office, protesters met Trudeau and heckled him on his final day.
Go take Trudeau! Go take a walk in the snow!
No legacy!
Come on!
Who is he waving to? Who the hell is he waving to? His haters? And look at him stare. Look at him stare at his haters one last time. One last time for the road.
Walk in the snow!
No legacy!
Come on! No, 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 no!
Whoa! Whoa!
That's Trudeau leaving for the last time as PM.
This is chaotic.
Here he goes. Here he goes. Trudeau rolling out. Rolling out. Get the heck. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye.
Wow.
There we go. Tyrant of the cottage.
Whoa.
Good riddance.
The end of an era, possibly the worst era in Canadian history. It's over. Pretty brutal, but well-deserved. And over on X, the Justin Trudeau goodbye tour continues, as Justin Trudeau is once again saying goodbye for the millionth time, with this post saying, "Thank you, Canada, for trusting in me, for challenging me, and for granting me the privilege to serve the best country and the best people on earth." Now, didn't he post a video yesterday saying "one more thing, Canada"? Right? And the comments here are pretty brutal on Trudeau. With the top, I got the top like comment here saying, "How many goodbyes are we going to get from you? Just STFU and leave. Salty Albertan, Jesus, just go away already. You destroyed Canada and its people. Go F your you-know-what. And Roll writes, GFY, we don't care. We wanted you gone and you just keep coming back like a cancerous sore. Zach writes, you ruined Canada. Trump is going to pick it up at a steep discount. House of Commons staffer post this. The best Trudeau moment. But these comments are just so brutal here. Wyatt Claypool writes, we didn't trust you. You couldn't handle the most basic challenges. Now, please leave. Celtic Canuck, another YouTuber, writes, we don't need a daily message of goodbye because your ego's in free fall and the fear of irrelevance is nipping at you. We don't care and we don't like you. So please be gone from our site. Woof. Now, the next commenter writes, you were forced to resign because we didn't trust you. Steven Tyler writes, F off into the snow already. And our last comment from Kirk Lubinov writes, don't steal all the tampons from the men's washroom. Leave some for Mark Carney. Now let's fast forward things over to today, where the theatrics continue with Justin Trudeau as his personal photographer posted this. And Justin Trudeau's photographer took this picture, which is super weird, of Trudeau checking the cabinets to make sure that he forgot nothing there. But the way I see it is these empty cabinets are a great representation of how he left our country. Canadians have never been more broke. But Trudeau's photographer wasn't done just there, as he posted this picture of Trudeau crying to the Governor General on his final day right before he officially resigned. I don't think there's anything more narcissistic than this picture. If there is, let me know in the comments. Now let's move things over to Mark Carney's swearing in today, where we caught a group of liberals clapping at themselves and congratulating themselves for having destroyed Canada. Have you ever seen a bigger group of losers and failures than this? Our country is unrecognizable. Destroyed. People are broke. Record food bank usage. Homeless camps everywhere. And these people have the audacity to clap and congratulate themselves for what they did to our country. It makes me sick. Oh. And here comes the little man, Mark Carney, by the way. In this, you could really tell how short Mark Carney is. He's 5'8" for the record, and just standing beside his wife. His wife is taller than him. Mark is a short dude. We're gonna have to give him a nickname. We'll call him Little Mark, the Little Napoleon. Little Mark Carney. Oh boy. And shortly after that, Little Mark, as we're going to call him from now on, got sworn in as Canada's new illegitimate prime minister.
Execute the powers and trust reposed in me as prime minister.
Look at Chrystia Freeland behind him just smiling. How is she still in government? Look how awkward he is. Look, he's so awkward. This dude is awkward. Mr. Burns. We're going to call him Mr. Burns. Little Mark is very awkward. Oh, unbelievable. And after this swearing in, Mark Carney finally took questions from the press. Well, the actual government-approved press, because independent media was not allowed into this press conference. And here is what he had to say about the CBC.
Next question.
I'm complimenting the journalist from Radio Canada, and I would like to compliment the very existence of Radio Canada, and I'd like to reinforce that my government would be reinforcing. It goes back to Canadian identity, culture. This is away from the news, but the broader sense. So I'll finish the answer.
So yes, under Mark Carney, the CBC will stay alive. And in this press conference, Mark Carney was asked about President Trump, and you won't believe it. This clip was 1 minute and 30 seconds long, and Mark Carney did it again. You got to see this. He did it again. Mark Carney said 35 times in 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I edited it all down for you guys because you truly love these clips. Let's watch. He's the worst public speaker of all time, guys. The worst.
And on President Trump, what makes you think you personally would be better fit to handle him than Trudeau was? And why do you think he'll have more respect for you than he did for him?
Look, to President Trump, including with and Ford with president, mutual solutions that win for both.
Thank you.
Does this not project strength? Does this make Canada look strong? We might actually have our first DEI prime minister because I think this dude is legitimately retarded. And at this same press conference, Mark Carney is still not committing to calling an election, even though it would be the smart thing for him to do right now, as his polling numbers will not get better than they are now. But this is what he had to say.
Prime Minister Tom Perry with CBC. Can I ask you what your plans are for the next few weeks? Are you going to be bringing back the House? Are you going to be calling an early election? And if so, when should Canadians expect to go to the polls?
Well, they certainly should expect to go to the polls before November. And they
all laugh behind there. As the whole country wants to go to an election, the Liberals just laugh. They're laughing in our face.
The news today is behind me. An exceptional group of individuals.
And the thing that really pisses me off about this new Mark Carney administration is the fact that nothing has changed from the Trudeau regime, as pointed out by Pierre Poilievre. Pierre Poilievre put out this tweet saying that 87% of Carney's ministers were Trudeau ministers, and 100% of Carney's ministers were in Trudeau's caucus, helping hike the carbon taxes, double the debt, housing costs, food bank lineups. He's 100% right. A liberal is a liberal is a liberal. And let's go see this new cabinet here, put out by the Liberal Party. Dominic LeBlanc, Minister of International Trade. Melanie Joly remains. She's going to remain in cabinet. Dominic LeBlanc remained in cabinet. Oh, François-Philippe Champagne, fellow very short guy, is going to be the new Minister of Finance. Anita Anand, Minister of Innovation. Are you seeing fresh faces here? Bill Blair, Minister of National Defense. Patty Haiju, Minister of Indigenous Services. The same faces. Jonathan Wilkinson, Minister of Energy, same faces. Whoever this is, Jeanette Taylor, President of the Treasury Board, no clue who that is. Stephen Guilbeault is the new Minister of Canadian Culture and Identity and Parks Canada. Really? The same people responsible for the fires in Jasper. This is who they chose. We have Chrystia Freeland is the new Minister of Transport. These are all the same faces. The new Minister of Health, Kamal Kahara. I have no clue who she is. Gary, I won't even pronounce his name, is the new Minister of Justice, Attorney General. Bro literally looks like a brown chipmunk. Who else? Richie Valdez, Chief Government Whip. Wasn't she the Minister of Industry? The woman who was eating lobsters while Canadians were starving? More of the same. Steve McKinnon is the Minister of Jobs and Families. Wasn't he the guy who had a meltdown with Mark Gerritsen at the press conference? David McGuinty, Minister of Public Safety. Terry Duguid, Minister of Environment and Climate Change. Okay, this is Stephen Guilbeault's replacement here. Nate Erskine Smith, Minister of Housing and Infrastructure. Same faces. Rachel Bendayan, Minister of Immigration. This is who's replacing Mark Miller. Incredible. Same faces. Elizabeth Briere, Minister of Veterans Affairs. Joanne Thompson, Minister of Fisheries and Oceans. Ariel Kayabaga, Minister of Leader of the House of Commons and Minister of Democratic Institutions. Cody Blois, Minister of Agriculture. Ali Ahasi, Minister of Government Transportation, Public Services and Procurement. It's all the same friggin' people. Are Canadians really this stupid? And I'm legitimately worried about the future of Canada, man. I mean, look at this culture that the left has created in Canada, a culture of hate and divisiveness. Look what Kimbo wrote. My husband and I were driving to Fall River in Nova Scotia last evening, and an ugly Tesla Cybertruck began to pass us. I practically hung out the window, giving the middle finger. My husband got upset and said, "Why would you do that?" I said, "It's my duty as a Canadian." Can you see how brainwashed the left is here in Canada? Or how about this one? It gets even crazier. Submitted from Mario for the North. His friend texted him this saying, I got a Cybertruck a couple of weeks ago and people are literally trying to run me off the road on the highway. Wow. Trying to box me in parking lots to make it difficult to get out, throwing up the middle fingers and screaming at me, calling me a Nazi because he owns a Cybertruck. It's insane. The world has gone nuts. He's 100% correct. We're now seeing violence against Tesla users because our mainstream media is telling people that Elon Musk is a Nazi, Elon Musk is evil, and these people are buying it up and are now resorting to violence as a way to solve their disputes or their differences with people they don't agree with politically. The Canada I grew up in, it was okay to disagree on politics. We didn't run each other off the roads. So when I say that Canada is broken, this is exactly what I'm talking about. We need to bring back the old Canada. And the only way to do that is with Pierre Poilievre. If we split the vote as conservatives, we're absolutely cooked. You're going to put in another liberal woke tyrant in power for another 4 years. Can you imagine the damage that Mark Carney is going to do? And when the PPC bros say, oh, he's a globalist, wake up, bros. Mark Carney is the biggest globalist there's ever been. And if you split the vote now while things are really close, you could be helping Mark Carney get control of Canada. And we all know how illegitimately he was placed in as prime minister. PPC bros, I'm urging you, please don't split the vote. We need you now. We need to all get united or else Canada is gone forever. But I will leave you guys on a positive note as we head into election season here in Canada, as a giant YouTube account here in Canada called Canadian Prepper, for the first time ever, has endorsed a political candidate, and his name is Pierre Poilievre. The big endorsements are rolling in.
Today is the day where I, for the first time ever in this channel's history, openly endorse a political candidate, something I've refrained from doing for 10 long years. Wow. I've now been reduced to being a single issue voter here in Canada. And that's because of this issue right here. I've never officially and resolutely supported anyone, and that is what I'm doing today in my endorsement for Pierre Poilievre, the Conservative leader in Canada, for the next Prime Minister of this country. I officially and openly endorse Pierre Poilievre. When it boils down to it, for me personally, one of the cardinal privileges and rights is your ability to defend yourself. Once they can take that away, they can basically take anything away. So if you're on the left and you watch this channel and you've always supported my political agnosticism, I don't want you to think that anything is going to change above and beyond my supporting Pierre Poilievre, for that simple reason that he has agreed to repeal all of these inefficacious laws. Very well-meaning people who are unfortunately conduits for malfeasance have convinced people that self-defense is actually a bad thing. A lot of liberals who subscribe to firearms confiscation, a lot of them virtue signal in this way, and a lot of them are actually well-meaning, believe it or not. I can tell you that most liberals who want guns to be taken away from firearms owners, they genuinely, mistakenly believe that these guns are a threat. It's the biggest issue they take with this group. Their ability to protect themselves is something that doesn't sit well with people who have no ability to protect themselves. These people who, again, I'm not throwing shade. I was one of those people. I was one of you. Gun confiscation is not something that is benign. It is incredibly insidious. The future of Canadian gun rights really does hang in the balance at this point. And if you can't try to communicate to people on a level that they can understand, we're going to lose our rights forever.
He's right. He's 100% right. And if you guys want to give this patriot a follow, their YouTube channel is at Canadian Prepper. And yes, this person has 1.3 million subscribers and is endorsing Pierre Poilievre for Prime Minister. Huge. All right, folks, that is it for today's report, but I want to hear it in the comments down below. Did it make you happy to see Trudeau heckled for one last time on his final day in office? Let me know in the comments down below. And what are your thoughts on Mark Carney and his speech skills? Is this guy the worst public speaker of all time? Tell me in the comments. If you made it this far, you're a legend. You're getting a bonus clip at the end. But if you want to support my channel, the best way to do it, like, comment, share, subscribe. My name is The Pleb. And here is some more Mark Carney not knowing how to talk. See you at the next one. Peace.
Trump's with a which here at DeFasco.